All right. Welcome, everyone, to 8-8, to manifesting with the power of the Lionsgate portal. Who's excited? I'm so excited this day. This is like my favorite holiday. I'm such a spirituality junkie. Oh, we got some hand raises. Love it. Love it. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm just so curious, right? What you're hoping to get out of today. And if you want to pop it in the chat, that would be great. Like, what's your intention? Why are you here? And why are you stoked? I'd love to hear it. Let's see. We got some. Oh my gosh. Mercury retrograde is real. Align and plant seeds, focused attention, step more into my power, to feel momentum and confidence building, the next phase of my life. Yes. Ready to superpower my intentions. Okay, you're in the right place. Believe in myself, setting intentions, living life with alignment. And I'm excited to get back to my soul self after being within human ego for the last 4 months. I love that. To be more calm, to face challenges. Yes to all of this. Well, thank you for being here and congrats, right? For making the time to be here. And I just wanted to share a little bit about why Lionsgate means so much to me. I'm Jen Gens, if we haven't met already, and I'll be your guide for the next 90 minutes. I have a bachelor's degree from Boston College in interpersonal communications and a postbac in psychology. And I've been a certified empowerment coach, yoga and meditation teacher, spiritual teacher, and sound healer for over 10 years. And I'm proud of that. But what's way more important than accolades is that I actually feel really confident in my creativity as a dancer, a singer, a channeler, and an empowerment guide. Still letting some people in. Okay. And, of course, it wasn't always that way. We all have that story, right? Of our time to get to where we are. And I remember working all these jobs that just lacked fulfillment. And I was constantly thinking that I wasn't good enough. And I really didn't have the direction that I really needed in life. And I ended up going pre-med. I was chasing someone else's dream. I was doing what I thought I should do. And I started dating this really cool, sweet mountain biker. And the truth was, is I was pushing my body really hard, which was very normal to me. I was pushing, pushing, pushing. And I was always like trying to keep up with him. And one one day in late July, I pushed myself too hard. And it was July 23rd. It was right before the Lionsgate portal started opening. And I got launched off of the mountain and woke up in the hospital with 7 broken vertebrae, including a broken neck, 5 broken ribs, and a traumatic brain injury. And my clavicle is now a steel plate. And, recovery was really hard. And it was in those first few weeks of August. But it also showed me just like how brave I can be. And so that was my first real taste of this Lionsgate portal. But 7 months later, my mom actually fell off a second-story balcony and became a quadriplegic. And our relationship hadn't been easy at that time, but I flew back to the East Coast in a neck brace and became one of her primary caregivers. And we healed so much together. I'm wearing her necklace today. And she lived for another 17 months. And as she transitioned unexpectedly into the afterlife, I witnessed her soul, about 6 feet in diameter, up a star type looking figure, leave her body and go into a portal of light. I understand that what I just said is a little shocking. It was shocking for me too. I didn't quite understand it, but I knew it meant something, and it really, really deepened my spiritual practice. That was just before the Lionsgate portal opening. And her memorial was actually on August 5th, again, right before the Lionsgate peak. And, I had this, like, so much grief, of course. It's a confusing time when you lose a parent. But I also felt just this incredible renewal and sense of purpose in my being. I knew that I had this work to do, that I didn't need a PhD to support people. And I became incredibly humbled from that experience, but also courageous. And um, because I had really lived through that experience, and again, her transition perfectly coincided with this Lionsgate portal. And it really allowed me, I believe, to step more fully into my powerful purpose as a spiritual guide and a life purpose coach. And it seems to strengthen every year, right? And that is intention based. So I thought I would share some of my most favorite tools with you to heighten and enhance your experience of the Lionsgate portal. Because even if it's like you don't, have the same spiritual practice as me, we're here together. And I'm here to offer you some tools to enhance some magic. And for me, that just makes life more fun. So, my invitation to you is, let's have some fun today, right? Let's steep into this powerful time to envision who we want to step forth into. So, who's ready to align with some more personal power and strength in their lives? I know I am always. Yes, yes, yes. Another hand raise. Yes. Amazing. Awesome. So I'm going to give you a little menu for today. What we're going to do is I'll share with you about Lionsgate. Like, what does this even mean? What is this thing, Lionsgate? Then we're going to set the container. I'll invite you to call in some energies that feel right for you. We'll go over some values, because I really believe that values have a lot to do with alignment and our personal purpose and higher self. So we'll get to know a little bit more on a cognitive level about our higher self. We'll do a little honoring for our past self, which is why I asked you to grab a candle, a lighter, and a journal. Journal will be for later. And then we'll do some energy activation and visioning involved with the energy activation. That's right before we then go into some journaling, which again, I'd like you to grab a journal and a pen. And then we're actually going to set some action steps. I want you to leave here with not only a sense of renewal and vision, but some grounded action steps for yourself that you can move forward in. So accountability for yourself, right? This is about becoming a leader for yourself. And then I have a little special gift at the end that I'd love to offer you. So I hope you stay until the end. All right. So what is the Lionsgate portal? So, truth be told, the Lionsgate portal is a bit of a new age term. It relates to the astrological sign of Leo. Shout out to our astrologers in the house. Hey, hey. And Leo really symbolizes strength and courage and leadership, right? It's the theme. And it encourages us to really step into our personal power. So the Lionsgate portal does actually have ancient roots, and we'll get there. But what happens is the Lionsgate portal occurs when the star Sirius comes, which by the way is the brightest star to our naked eye, and it is 25 times brighter than our sun and 3 times as powerful. So the portal occurs when Sirius, the brightest star, rises with the sun and is visible at dawn. It's called the heliacal rising. And the event occurs between July 26th and August 12th. The peak occurs on 8/8, which is today, when the sun is in Leo, again, enhancing these energies of courage and strength and leadership. So again, it's a new age term, but it does have these ancient roots and this ancient wisdom that started in Egypt. And the rising of Sirius was actually linked with the flooding of the Nile, which is absolutely essential for their agricultural system and was associated with the goddess Isis, who was revered, right, in Egyptian, as an Egyptian goddess. And Isis symbolizes renewal and rebirth. So to modern spiritual practitioners, right, this is a view of alignment that is heightened with this cosmic energy of rebirth, of nurturing, right, of spiritual awakening and manifestation, along with, right, that energy of Leo, which is empowered leadership. So the star Sirius actually rises and lines up on 8/8 with the Great Pyramid Giza. The Egyptians were incredible astrologers. So they saw, right, when that star lined up, it was like, or is coming towards lining up. It's like, oh, the flooding is coming soon. And it was like, oh, like great, abundance, like we're manifesting, right, the fertility. Isis is also this incredible symbol of motherhood. So it's like, what do we want to birth into the world? Right? Like, what are we gestating in and on so that we can bring this fertility forth for ourself now, but also our future self? And not only that, but for the world, right? I believe leadership starts here. It starts with us first. But as we become leaders for ourselves, secure in ourselves, we can then make a greater impact just by being, honestly, just by stepping into our power and being. So not only that, there's a numerological significance, right? We got these eights, and this year is 2024, which adds up to another eight. So, spiritual practitioners are going gaga for this year. It's like extra potent because when you flip the eight on its side, we all know this, right? It's an infinity symbol. So we've got 3 infinities creating all this abundance. And it also represents balance. Infinity, balance, abundance. Y'all, this is a really powerful time, right? For some intention setting and manifesting goals. Who's with me? Like, who feels that? Yes, yes, yes. So it also emphasizes the idea of eternal cycles and infinite possibilities. So the numerological significance mixed with, right, the Leo and the ancient wisdom of the Egyptians and the, quite literal like energies of the sky, it also impacts this spiritual energetic component. The veil is said to be thinner between the physical and spiritual realms, facilitating this higher level of consciousness, spiritual insights, and again, alignments of one's true purpose. So it's an ideal time to vision and visualize, intention set, as I mentioned, and just steep into any spiritual practices that you might have already. So this is really about what feels right for you, right? I want to make sure that when we're calling in things today, that it feels right for you. So I want you to always check leader for yourself. What feels right for you? This is your choice. And it's also your choice of who you're becoming, right? And what you want to be right now as you step forward into your life. You get to choose and you get to practice. And I always say it's like tuning a guitar string when we come out, to check out what coming out of alignment feels like, because it happens. We get tested. We can come right back. And maybe we'll get pulled out over here and we come right back. Today is about coming to center and really steeping in that. What does it feel like? So, whenever we are talking about who we are becoming, I always like to honor the past because you wouldn't be who you are now if it weren't for your past self. So, I want you to have your candle and lighter handy as we set the container. So, it'll be right in front of you. Setting the container, I invite you to call in the spirits of the highest truth and compassion for you and your higher self. And I invite you to call in any allies for today, whether you already know them or maybe you're just meeting for the first time. I invite you to call in your ancestors, perhaps, if that feels right, your lineage, and any guides that really feel of support to you. And an invitation for you to call on the spirit of Isis that represents rebirth and renewal, fertility, magic, and bravery. Calling that energy into this space and calling on the energy of the Leo. Invitation to call in the energy of leadership and authority, creativity and expression, courage and strength, warmth and compassion for yourself, and ambition and determination. And I invite you to call in your higher self, the essence, the spirit of, and your inner wisdom. Come forth and step into this leadership now. And I invite you in this moment to also honor your past self, lighting the candle in front of you. And honoring everything you've been through to get here. May we trust in God's process and allow that what you've been through to be an initiation for who you are today and who you are becoming. May we heal so that we may fully appreciate our lives with gratitude and love. And may we show up for ourselves so that we may show up for others. Allow this moment here now to not be of spiritual bypass, but to really be honoring as you look into this flame that flickers. You are who you are today because of what you've been through. Allow that to be sacred in this moment. And I invite you to feel into who you were in the past and what perhaps has really saved you when life was hard. What was that thing that kept you alive? What was that thing that gave you a thread of hope? For example, for me, it's singing and coaching and dancing. So I want you to just feel into that past self, feeling where you've been. When life has been hard, what was it that kept you going? And what's one thing that you've really learned from your trials and tribulations, even though it was hard? Maybe you learned how resilient you are. Maybe you learned about compassion and forgiveness. And when you're ready, I invite you to pick up your journal and just write a couple of bullet points. And I'm going to ask you a few more questions about your values. Values now, present moment. What sets your inner soul ablaze? What inspires you? What's that spark that sets you free? What's that spark that sets you free? And what are you madly passionate about? What are you madly passionate about? And if it's hard, these questions feel like a lot. Just know that we're just exploring. There's no need to get it perfect. Maybe it's just a spark to encourage or inspire. Know that you can always come back to these questions. So here's one. What could you talk about all day? What could you talk about all day? Like that kid that comes home from school that can't wait to share something with their mom or dad or big brother. What could you talk about all day? And what would you do for free because you are just so stoked to share it? Maybe that's like love. You're so stoked to pet your favorite dog. Do that for free any day. And what do you believe in so deeply that you could sing it from the mountaintops? What's the message you want everyone to hear? Okay. Just a few more seconds for that one. If you could put aside any restrictions of time and money, what would you really want from life? If you were absolutely, positively certain you would get it. If you put aside any restrictions of money and time, what would you want from life if you were absolutely certain you would get it? A few more seconds for that one. And similar theme, if you put aside any restrictions for money and time, what would you really want to accomplish? If you were absolutely, positively certain you would do it, what would you really want to accomplish? If money and time did not restrict you? All right, a few more seconds for that one. So why am I asking you these questions? As mentioned, I really believe that values have a lot to do with who we are now and who we want to become. My clients hear me talk about this all the time. To me, values are a place to come back to. It's like home. This is home. Someone, has a judgment of your character, get to come back to your values. What do I know of myself? Or if you get irritated, right? Deep breath. How do I come back home? How do I regulate? And I believe that values show us not only who we want to become, but aspects of our alignment and what yes feels like, even if it's hard. And that full body yes can be extremely activating and also show us who our higher self is. Again, it's about alignment and who we want to become in this world. The other reason why I'm asking you these questions is to just check if there's any shoulds going on, because we come from conditioning, right? Conditioning, cultural conditioning, unless we grew up in the woods or, with wolves or something, there's going to be conditioning. And even that, we probably get conditioning from the wolves. But anyway, right? Like we live in this world, we live in this culture. You're going to be conditioned. Just like I was telling you in my story, for not ever feeling like I was enough and becoming pre-med because I felt like it's what I should do. Of course, there were some desires there, but we want to check ourselves with these shoulds to actually check if it's actually what I want. Because this visioning today, I want you to really align with what you want. And if that's to cuddle up with your best friend who's a sweet little Shiba Inu, like full body, yes. Shout out, shout out. Right. If that's to have your favorite ice cream today, if that just feels like a full body yes, then yes. I want you to bring that in to your vision. So next, we're going to come out of the cognitive and more into the energetics. I'm going to start to guide you into a heart activation. And help lead you and guide you into these visions of your higher self. And again, as mentioned, don't worry, we'll have some time to journal about your experience. So I just invite you and encourage you to stay present in your experience if that feels good for you. All right. So who's excited? Little pump up, little like heart. Woo! Yes, yes. Awesome. Awesome. So find a comfortable seat. If you're feeling a little fidgety, just go ahead and get some fidgets out. Actually, let's just do a little shake. Doing a little shake. Yeah, shaking it out. Woo! And get some of the arms moving. Yes. So our arms, I'm laughing at my view. Our arms are an extension of our heart. So when we hug someone, we are literally hugging them and resonating that love out of our heart through our arms and into our palms. So we're even getting the back of their heart, right? And when we're of service, or let's say like one of my favorite examples is doing ceramics. I love ceramics. Do I have any other ceramicists in the house? Oh, yes. Okay. So ceramics, right? We're using our hands to create this vessel, and it's coming out from our hearts and spinning in this meditative way if you're using a wheel. So again, our hearts are an extension of us and into the world, and our hands are of service to give and receive. So with this heart activation and visualization, when we get into it, I'm going to ask you to start moving your hand in a counterclockwise circle. Okay. Counterclockwise. We're going to unlock the heart again, counterclockwise. Counterclockwise. And if you were to place a clock on your heart, it actually is going clockwise. But for our sake, let's just let it be simple and go counterclockwise. Like as if you have a steering wheel, you're going to go counterclockwise. Awesome. Give me a little thumbs up if that makes sense. Great. Great, great. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into our meditation. Again, just a couple more wiggles, finding a comfortable seat. And I invite you, if it feels safe and comfortable, to close your eyes. Nice deep breath in. Audible exhale out. Nice deep inhale in. Audible exhale out. Deeper inhale in, pausing at the top, filling up the lungs, filling up your heart chakra with the pride of the lion, and exhaling out when you're ready. Lion's Gate is associated with the heart chakra, promoting healing, love, and emotional balance. I invite you to identify what you're ready to release in this moment, taking a big inhale in. Any restrictions that you're ready to release. Audible exhale out. What are you ready to release in order to open more? Inhaling, expanding the heart, exhaling, relaxing the shoulders. Another deep breath in. And again, release. Tuning into the heart, I invite you to start tapping on your sternum, the heart chakra, right in the middle of the chest. You can slow it down as you breathe, inhale, tuning, awakening, exhaling. And slowing down the rhythm of your tap. And gently just placing those fingers on the center of your chest now with stillness and balance. I invite you now to hold with your two fingers, the thumb and the index, as if you're holding a key. And start turning that key in a counterclockwise motion, unlocking the heart. With your inhale and exhale, starting to turn the key from right to left. Opening and beginning to now spiral, a small spiral, going counterclockwise with your heart. It's starting to spin open. This spinning starts all the way in the center of your heart and emanating out of your chest in a clockwise motion. Begin to move your hand in that counterclockwise motion, spinning open. Spiraling the heart chakra open. Deep breath in. Spinning counterclockwise, open. Stay with it. Feel your heart spiraling open with each deep breath, opening a little bit more. Continue this spiraling motion, and you can put your hand down if that feels comfortable. And feel the energy spiral that you're creating within your heart. Allow it to project out in front of you, this spiral, creating a portal out in front of you. Envisioning a portal spinning out in front of you. Of gold and yellow, and splashes of orange. Allow yourself to see through this portal. This portal is now as big as you. And I invite you to see the vision of your higher self through this portal out in front of you. As if you're looking through the looking glass. You see them. What are they wearing? Notice. What are they doing? Where are they? And what is the energy that they radiate? Just notice. And feel your heart opening to them, spiraling open. This energy that you see. And I invite you to ask What are you here to tell me? What are you here to tell me? Asking, what do I need to know? What do I need to know? And what do I need to know in order to create the life I want? Asking, what creative outlets enliven you? Asking them, what do they want to play with or play in? And letting that sink in. Your higher self now asks you some questions. Your higher self asks, what do you need to hear in order to feel nurtured? What does present you need to hear in order to feel nurtured? What does present you need to know in order to feel empowered? Higher self asks present you, what do you need to know in order to feel empowered? Allow yourself to make an imprint. Allow yourself to make an imprint of this energy. Receive from your higher self what you need to feel nurtured and empowered. Feel it come from the portal through your palms, up your arms, and into your heart. Deep breath in. Allow this to imprint into your heart. And now asking your higher self, what do I still need to release? What do I still need to release? And allow yourself in this moment to wipe off your heart and scoop up that thing, that essence, that energy that you might need to release, and just scoop it up from your heart and hold it out in front of you. Invitation to keep the eyes closed. Honoring it, allowing it to know that you're listening. And if it feels right, that you're committed to giving this piece that you need to release attention. And you don't have to figure it out all now, but you're here in this moment to listen. And setting that energy free, wiping your arms, giving yourself a little shake, feeling a little lighter, perhaps. Seeing your higher self once again out in front of you. Powerful invitation to take a step forward. And move through this portal that you have created. If it feels right for you, I invite you to step forward through your own portal, meeting your higher self on the other side. And starting to wrap your arms around your higher self as they wrap their arms around you. And allowing these energies to merge as you bring it into your heart. Deep breath in, inviting the energy of your higher self into you. And exhaling, relaxing into all that you are in your divine, divine intuitive wisdom. And allowing yourself to wrap your arms around yourself, giving yourself the grace of that hug, merging all that you know into your being in the present moment, becoming your future self right here, right now. Deep breath in, audible exhale out. Another deep breath in. Continuing to breathe 8 full breaths. Four, 5, 6. Feeling the infinity that you are creating. 7. Feeling the energy going through your palms back into you. And 8. Releasing the arms down. And I invite you to give yourself a little bow, bringing the chin down to the chest, sealing in this practice and imprinting anything else that really needs to be imprinted, allowing yourself to really receive this energy, sealing in this practice. And when you're ready, bringing your head back up, starting to flutter open your eyes, and finding your journal and pen. And writing down anything that you feel really potent about and powerful. What did they look like? What did your higher self look like? And I'll place some of these questions in the chat for you. What, what were they wearing? What is she doing? Or they? Where were they? And most importantly, what is the energy that they radiate? What are they here to tell you? What else do you need to know in order to create the life that you want? And what creative outlet do you want to play with? What do you need to hear in order to feel nurtured? What do you need to know in order to feel empowered? And what do you still need to release? What do you know you still need to release? One more. Just notice, what was one value that you noticed your higher self really embodied, exuded, and radiated? What value did your higher self embody and radiate? Okay. So, action steps. What is one piece of internal personal development work you know you need in order to commit to actualize your vision? We are not going for perfectionism here, but we do just want to out ourselves, right? We want to just become more aware. Doesn't mean we have to do this by tomorrow, but something that we know. What's one piece that I know I need to work on the internal side in order to actualize my vision? And now, what would make this inevitable? Maybe it's creating a little more time for yourself or a 15-minute morning routine, for instance, or on the internal, just really knowing that you're worth it, or working towards knowing that you're worth it. Can you find one word that encompasses this energy that you really want to lean into? Maybe it was a value you noticed of your higher self. What's one word? Now, what's one thing that would hold you back? Again, just to out ourselves. What's one thing that you know is going to be a piece of resistance in your way? We don't need to fix it. We just want to give it some attention in this moment by seeing it. So what would hold you back? And you may have already answered this, but what's one outer piece that you know you need to do in order to move forward? I mentioned morning routine, for instance. That would be an outer piece. Or putting yourself on your own schedule for a sacred appointment. That's what I like to call them. Sacred appointments, me time. So what's one outer piece that you know you need to do in order to move forward towards actualizing your vision of your higher self? All right, a few more seconds here. So I want to offer a few things that I've noticed in my life, just three things. I've got a lot of things, but I'll just offer three little nuggets that I've noticed really make this inevitable, this personal development that we're doing, actualizing towards who we want to become. Now, you already know I've mentioned values. I think that's really important. But that is a form of commitment. Commitment will help you move forward in actualizing who you want to be. There's a commitment there, right? There's like a devotion almost, or not almost. To me, it is a devotion of who I want to be and who I want to become and how I want to serve. So the values are a sense of commitment, right? It's a place to come back to, like I said earlier. And my clients hear me say this all the time, but structure creates freedom. We're all creative souls in here. I know it. And we all have incredible ideas. And I absolutely believe that we are all here to serve in some way. And sometimes it could be hard as a creative to create a little structure in our lives. Who knows what I'm talking about? Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for being honest. So, commitment. As I mentioned earlier, commitment can look like a sacred appointment for yourself. You put that on your own calendar. Somebody asks you if you can do something, you say, sorry, I have an appointment. That's to you. That's boundaries, commitment. The right structures and systems and tools in place help us commit because it helps us understand our resistance, our boundaries, and our fears, right? And how we collapse our boundaries because of fear. So, commitment. It helps us in the process of becoming and unbecoming and deprogramming old conditions, what we think we should be doing, into actually what we want and who we want to become. Commitment. Second little nugget is compassion. Whew. I am personally a recovering perfectionist. Who's here with me? Anyone else? Okay, I got a few. All right, I'm still working on it, but compassion, whether you're a perfectionist or not, compassion. Just like I mentioned, we're tuning the guitar string. We're not here to get it perfect. We're not here to get it right all the time. Even just allowing ourselves some self-awareness is a part of the commitment, but we have to have the compassion, right? We've got to have the compassion that we might fall off. That's okay, right? It's okay. Have compassion, that nurturing that we mentioned earlier. What is it that you need to feel nurtured? What is it that you need to feel empowered? Have compassion for yourself. The third little nugget would be, I'm trying to think of a C word that might incorporate this, counsel, but really it's support. We are better together. Even though we need to do a lot of our initiations on our own, the relationships we have in our life will create these initiations for us. We are better together. We are better with support, whether that's a bestie or the support of our higher self even, or a mentor or a therapist or a group. That nurturing that we crave, I believe, does need to come from ourselves. That's healing. And we can actually learn how to receive in our relationships and also getting the support that we need. If you know you have resistance, it's important to note that. I believe getting support, like a mentor or a therapist or a group, is kind of like riding an escalator or even an elevator. We can do it on our own, but the truth is we need each other. We can reparent ourselves, but when we have someone that's out in front of us that can check our blind spots, we will get there faster and farther and deeper and stronger and more empowered. Does everyone know what I'm talking about? Just yes, yes, yes. We're better together. It's like the mycelial network, right? We're better together. Ah, community. Thank you, Jora. Community. Yes, community. Ah, I love it. Thank you. Council, community. So commitment, compassion, community. So those of you who noticed some resistance, right? Or noticed some of these things that are getting in your way that you want to release, I want to hear about it. Let me know. I want to give you an invitation to reach out to me if you'd like some extra support. To those who want it, I'm going to open a few spots in my calendar tomorrow and next week. And if there isn't a spot and you want it, just reach out to me. I'm here for you. And I'll open a spot for a free 30-minute clarity breakthrough session to get you that support, get clear on what it is that you are wanting, what's in your way, and together we'll devise a little mini plan that's right for you. So again, clarity breakthrough session. I'll actually go ahead and put my scheduling link in the chat for you, as well as my email. Jen@jengens.com. Give you a little extra support if you're wanting it. No pressure, but I'm here for you. Okay, last question. Yes, I will also send a follow-up email for you for sure. So last question is, what's your biggest takeaway from today? Before we close, what's your biggest takeaway from today? What came through? What's a big aha that you had? Yeah, feel free to put it in the chat. I would love to hear your takeaways. I'll give you a few more moments before I start reading them out loud. What's your biggest takeaway? One thing that really stood out to you, put it in the chat. Would love to read them. So Heidi says, literally walking myself through the portal was powerful for me. Dabu says, in quotes, you've been on the path the entire time. Oh, chills. So beautiful. Leah says, everything I want is within reach. Mm, mm, mm. Nico says, portal walking was crazy, but take this support from your higher self and from your friends, the ones that check your blind spots. Oh, so good. Ifan says, right here, right now. Love it. Jorah says, my higher self is real and available. I'm going to kick it with her more often. Ooh, yeah. Love that. Alicia says, I am devoted to meeting my needs, with focused attention. Oh, yes. So good. Lynn says, I was pretty zoned out and just receiving. You are allowed to receive. Love it. I love your honesty. And I hope I say your name right. Sachi says, seeing my higher self was surprising. Yeah, I hope you continue to see your higher self. And Sulaf, again, I hope I'm saying your name right, says, okay, thank you. Connecting more with my higher self. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing all of those reflections and big ahas. So let us close we're coming to a close for today, and thanks for going over just a few minutes as we close right at the hour. And I invite you again, if it feels comfortable, to close your eyes and really just letting all of this imprint and sink in, placing both hands on your heart, feeling your heartbeat, knowing that you have imprinted all of this juiciness into your cells on an energetic level for today, with the support of this incredible day and the alignment of the Star Sirius, our own sun, and the earth, aligning with the energy of Leo, of great power, of determination, bravery, courage, and leadership, and creative expression. And bringing your hands into prayer, honoring the essence and energy that we called in, honoring the essence and energy of fertility and nurturing, of rebirth with the goddess Isis. And honoring all of your guides that you called in today, your ancestors, your allies, honoring your past self, and all that they've been through to get you to this present self. And honoring your higher self. Thank you. And thank you, spirits of the highest truth and compassion, for guiding us today and supporting us to awaken to the truth of our nature and awaken to all that we are and want to be. And with that, bringing our chin down towards our chest, perhaps kissing our fingertips. Sealing in this practice and releasing. So know that this was a powerful practice. Know that our circle is now done, but only just begun, as we step forward into our lives with more strength and courage, again, to awaken to the true potential of our being. So feel free to reach out, as mentioned. If you have any questions, I'll stay on for a few more minutes for sure. And feel free to email me. Definitely grab a clarity breakthrough session and drink lots of water today. I know that sounds a little kooky, but do it. I tell you, do it. This is a lot. This is a potent time. Drink a little extra water. There's a lot of fire in the sky right now. So nourish yourselves, be gentle with yourselves, and go play. Go be that powerful lion, lioness that you want to be. Go forth. I honor all of you. Thank you so much for being here. You're so welcome.
Thanks, Jen.